don't feel like doing anything. I just wanna lay in my bed. Don't feel like picking up my phone, so leave a message at the tone. 'Cause today I swear I'm not doing anything.
Gentle loving hugs, and thanks for tuning in to the Fibro Friends radio show here on healthinforadio.com, part of the Entertainment Global Media Network, broadcasting out of heavenly Clearwater, Florida. If you feel like doing nothing at all today, then just sit back or lie down. We're here to educate you with a full spectrum of information on fibro, advocate on the behalf of all fibro friends for fibro awareness and the need for more research, and support each other with laughter and love. New to fibro? Wonder what it is? Fibromyalgia is a complex chronic disorder involving a malfunction in how the brain processes pain, which leads to other multiple dysfunctions in the body. Some of the main symptoms of fibro are pain and fatigue, sleep disorder, memory and concentration, depression, digestive disorders, hypersensitivity. So today, you've tuned into Fibro Friends. So please welcome your host, Laura Rosa.
Hi, and welcome to another night of Fibro Friends. And Fibro Friends is proudly part of the Talk WAD network. Please feel free to check out other shows on the network by going to www.talkwad.com. And tonight I have Celeste here with me in the studio. Celeste has been on the past two previous shows, and we're really happy to have her here in the studio. Say hi, Celeste.
Hello, and I'm happy to be here.
Yes, so this is her first time being on a radio station.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. Pretty fun. So our thoughts are that about sharing with you some of the where to go to get some good information when you have recently been diagnosed with fibromyalgia, or if you're a long-standing patient with fibromyalgia. Places that what they offer, why we like them, and hopefully you can gain some good information tonight. Does that sound right, Celeste?
Yes.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Well, you told us in a previous show that you did, you diagnosed yourself pretty much. You got on the internet.
I did.
Okay. And share with us where you went. And
unfortunately, I did the old Google thing.
Google?
Where I
Google's
put in,
good.
I was having some really strange things happening, one of which was feeling like my skin was sunburned, but of course I hadn't been out in the sun, and also that feeling like ants were crawling on my skin.
That's a fun one.
Yeah. I don't know. Have
Not
you
a
ever,
very
did
common
you
one.
ever
You're not
experience-
hitting the big ones.
No, but
it
so I
worked.
Googled feels like sunburn or
Okay.
feels like ants on skin. And oddly enough, fibromyalgia kept popping up.
And you're like,
So
what
finally I
is-
took a look
Did you know
at
what that
it.
was at the time?
Not really.
Okay.
No.
Like, that's what most people answer
Yeah.
when I
No,
ask them.
not really. I still don't know what the heck it is. There's so many different facets
Well, let's
to
go
it.
rewind the beginning of the show and let you listen.
But I mean, there's so much to it that I have difficulty explaining it to friends, and
It is hard.
But anyway, so I Googled it and came up with a lot of good information. Some information that pops up, Mayo Clinic. That's a good site to go to for just basic information. I'm sure you've been there.
Yes, it is.
What else popped up a lot? HealthNet.
The big guys.
Yeah,
like
the big guys.
WebMD.
Right, WebMD. But they gave me, that's where I started.
And you felt like the information was consistent
And
with each
I
other
think
one?
those are good basic sites that will give you
but they're
good
not
starting information, but they're
specifically-
not real specific. They're pretty good. The Mayo Clinic site has pretty precise information about fibro on it, I feel.
Okay.
But there's other sites that now that I've had this for a while and done some research and looking up different things and know what I have, um, I have found some, found some other good sites.
The one site that I feel if you want to really track your information, and also it helps your physician, that I used a lot is called Patients Like Me, and that's PATIENTS like me.com. And it's basically for any disorder. And but once you get there, you fill out your profile and as a fibromyalgia patient or whatever ailment you want to do, and it gives you the opportunity to do many things. Once a week, you can update it. You can list all your medications. They've got a sheet where you can actually print out for your physician, and they have a blog which you can whatever, like I remember a time, where do you find the best bra because of our sensitivities with skin, and I put it out there as a question and I got tons of responses. So this is
Well,
a
that's
great
cool.
site.
I haven't been on this site, Laura, and
Well,
I know we've talked about it.
okay, well, that's right in front of you.
I see that, and I
Yeah,
wrote
that's
it
my
down on my
profile.
little card here.
Okay.
But and I will get on there and I'll think, oh, there was that site I wanted to look at that Laura and I talked about. Well,
Right.
what was it? But so now I do have it written down on
Yeah,
this card.
and I actually haven't been on in a while to keep it up, but let's see. Let's see. What subject would you? What kind of question would you want to ask them? Are you tangled
Okay.
up?
Yes,
Like,
I'm
'cause
tangled.
I can like put that in there, and you can get part. You can get in to the blog,
Okay.
and of course, it has a whole tutorial to
Right. I'm going to have to do that.
But now, and I forgot, it says first symptoms, when I was diagnosed, and I can add a lot other symptoms. Like I have not kept my profile up.
But this
I
you can do. You
it's
can track your symptoms,
yes, and you can
and you can
see
do like a journal or something if you wanted to.
absolutely right. And there's like my intro I put in there. Activity. I've had a lot of people check. Now, the downside of this is it's public, okay?
It
So,
is?
yeah, well, yeah, because I can look up other people. Like if I go to the blog section, I need to scroll down here a little bit here, and people can see what your profile is, like what medications you're taking,
So, but do you have to put your real name on it?
well, no, obviously I have, and I even used my real picture. That picture was before I put on the 130
Well,
pounds.
that's a good one to use.
Yes, I just can't put a current one up right now. It doesn't exist. I just want it never to be photographed. And let's see here, what would be helpful? They've got my symptoms, my interests, my journal.
That is a good list.
It is.
Go back to that.
Okay, I am. I'm like, see down on the left side, it continued like lab tests and, their weight. See, if I had kept putting my weight in monthly, I could see where I really dropped the ball. Let's see. Here's tools, hospitalizations. So you could keep your entire medical profile on here.
See, and you don't want that public.
Well, again, you put up there what you're comfortable with. Now,
Okay.
if there's a way, and as you go through the beginning, it
When you get
shows
logged, yeah,
when
when you
you
start.
start, there might be a way. I can't recall right off the top. Trying to find the blogs, like, and it's always running. The blogs are running to whatever's talking right now. Okay, here's patience. So let's see what we can learn about somebody we don't know. All right. There's right at the top, we'll click on Willow's mom, okay? And I can follow her or him or whatever. But let's see how much information we can really find out about this person. Okay, joined. Oh wow. Let's see. Instant me. Okay. I had a rough weekend. I'm very sensitive and cried frequently. I spent an hour. Obviously, you can see that she's looks like she's kept up really well. There's a place where you can score your fatigue, your sleep disturbances, morning stiffness and pain. And so as you go through here, and she has a score, and December 3rd was her last update. So she's a very active member. Her PFRS functions. You want to tell me what that is?
PFRS.
I wonder if we can click on that. I will. I don't want to spend too much time on one site. Let's see, and then external stress, and it gives the different colors to choose, and we can see that she was in a really high stress place at the beginning in 2010, and she got it down to moderate, and she's in the low stress zone right now. It looks like she might have recently moved back into moderate. There's a mood map, a function map, distress, uh, and then it's got all the components: depression, mania, emotional control, anxiety. But so you might want to put up a name, and like we noticed this person didn't put up a
Right.
photograph. They put up a sunset. Now,
Right.
I might want to
And they
restart mine
also went by
over that.
a fake name or
A generic name.
Yeah.
Yeah, Willow Mom. That could
Right.
mean anything. Yeah,
Right.
I was a little too brazen with mine here.
Well, I'm
When
going to
I
look
first
you
set
up,
up.
Laura.
Well, I think I'm gonna change, and then it has quality of life. Green being the best, and red being the worst. And it's got social, mental, and physical. As a category. So it's got sex drive, appetite, energy, sleep. So and then that's just one fragment. Then here's all the different treatments, and she talks about what works for her. And I mean, she's really done a great job completing her profile here.
Maybe what comes up first when you go to look for somebody, the most active one
Well,
of them,
I picked the first one at the top.
Right.
That meant that obviously it was somebody that had just
active.
been on.
Yeah.
So, but up here again, forms that I like, because this is where you can. It's people go look for stuff. I don't like that word. Look for topics of interest stuff, and it'll even right here. It has form guidelines. You can read how to use it. Let's see something that might be interesting. The topic being, are you a thinking? What are you thinking? Well, that's kind of weird. Funny picture thread. The afternoon lurker. Okay. There's some that are real, like this one, depression. Okay, let's just see. That seems like more of a and now this person discusses how severely depressed they are. Although nothing is wrong, I wasn't thinking about anything or worried. I just got depressed. As we know, depression is one of the six side effects of having fibromyalgia. So I would expect there to be a lot of issues with depression. I have bipolar 2, and it's difficult to explain to my boyfriend that there's just nothing bothering me, that depression can sometimes just happen. He can't get it and bugs me to tell him what's wrong. Well, that would frustrate me too.
Yes, I was just going to say I hate that when people keep asking you when you don't.
And right here it says hide topic. Okay, so alert me by email if we want to, keep up with how that's going. So then the next person will respond and says, sometimes I'll tell people it's like weather. Every morning when you wake up, there's weather in your brain. You can pretty much predict what the weather will be, not always, and sometimes it's cold and rainy. I think that's a good analogy. I like that one. Sometimes I tell people, let's see, that's a duplicate. Okay. I get that way too. I blame it on the weather or just feeling blah. Of course, today starts a brand new chapter of my life for me. I'm trying to deal with a diagnosis of all these mental things that are health related. My hubby has learned if I say nothing to just leave me alone, but then I try to watch a funny movie to help me with the blah. Sometimes it works, other times it doesn't. So, and then there's some that will have a string that's like 75 or 80.
Now, this is interesting.
This is just today.
I know, but when I'm looking, and these have different, the name, and then on the left-hand side, and the first symptom and diagnosis.
Okay.
And I'm looking, and the least amount of time, the least amount of time is a year.
Okay.
And then you were scrolling, and here's one. It was 5 years.
She had her first symptom in 98.
And she was diagnosed in 03.
That's 5 years being really stressed out.
I read that the average, and I would expect this to get better and better as more doctors become aware of fibro.
Or more educated.
But I read the average is 3 years.
Wow.
That's what I read.
Gotcha.
Now, I would think that would change. And not only that, but the amount of information that we as a patient have access to.
We have to stay proactive in our healthcare. We cannot rely on our doctors to do that for us.
So, but these are, there's a lot of people that go years and years, and they see doctor after doctor after doctor, and they never really, it takes them a long time to get diagnosed. I imagine there's people that have never been diagnosed, and they just go around thinking they're crazy.
Right. And I look back, and I knew a gal, and I know now she had fibromyalgia, but she was so aggressive with her doctors that 3 doctors sent her certified letter saying, do not come back. But she was so hungry for help.
Mm-hmm.
But she would explain things like she had this swelling in her shoulder that hurt. She missed a lot of work. But honestly, when you listen to her, you have to say,
Yeah,
but
right.
Being a fibro person, all those symptoms would make sense to me now. So I've lost touch with her, and I hope and pray that she finally got to a doctor who could really get that she had something going on that was real. Somebody's recommending a good movie. This is all today. Just we just keep going down. But yes, you're right. This person had her first symptom in 03, diagnosed in July of this year. It's just amazing.
That's 9 years.
That's a long time.
That's a really long time.
Let's see. This is I was kind of looking for something. Feeling again like hurting myself. What do I do?
Ooh,
that's a tough one.
That's scary.
Let's see. The early bird thread. Disassociating. 15 replies. What do you think that's about? Because you can put you can start your own thread.
Well,
like that one's got 100.
And you can you can probably search them, right?
Oh yeah. Let's
like if you wanted to see somebody's post or find out about
a certain thing.
Right.
So let's say we wanted to talk about. We've been talking about the stages of grief. Let's see what that comes up with. Let's see, GRIE. Let's see what comes up here. Have you dealt with your grief? Yep, we've got, and it all stays under the fibromyalgia / chronic fatigue / ME, which is myelitic encephalopathy, which I believe has to do with chemical sensitivities. Have you dealt with your grief? Having trouble getting disability? Why
can't I deal with this and accept?
That sounds good.
And I have trouble with that sometimes.
Yes. And let's see where that goes. Okay, let's see. This was started in June 1st, 2011. Okay. I can't seem to get through my head that my mom is really, truly gone. This is, okay. Talking about stages of grief. We're talking about with fibromyalgia.
Right.
Now,
so I don't know if you have to look, but it's in the Fibro Forum.
It is, right. Let's see here. Yeah. Because our life's going to go on with fibro. So whether you're dealing with the grief of fibro or the grief of a death. They're always going to be something that's showing up in our life. Let's see. There's grief for all of us. This is more of what I was hoping to get. Yes, there is grief for all of us for what was. Going through the stages of grief, and she cites a name, does not mean you're done with it forever. You may go back and have to do more work to really get to acceptance. And then you can mark this as very helpful. And it looks like created by Doo tags for this topic, EMDR, grief, tag this topic. I'm trying to see, it's just interesting that nobody's responded to that when I think it's a big deal. Let's click on this one. You could go forever on this thing. Grieving for yourself. Okay, that's actually got some insight here. Grieving for the person you used to be. If you think about it, if you've lost someone you loved in the past, the anger, depression, sadness that you felt is the same feeling when you are told that you have fibromyalgia. I've had fibromyalgia since 2002, and it is only now that I realize that I went through the same grieving process for the person I used to be that I went through when my mom and dad and 2 brothers died. It is all right to grieve for yourself. Just give in to it and realize that it will get better. Eventually, you will come to terms with the fact that you have a horrible disabling condition called fibromyalgia and all the other illnesses that cause, i.e., tinnitus, asthma, and a host of other things. I hope this helps you think about it and realize that you will eventually come to terms with it. I know it is very frightening at the beginning, and when all those other symptoms appear, it feels like it's never ending. I also know that it does not take a lot to knock you on your back. You are not alone. There are a lot of people out there with this illness. Gentle hugs to everyone. And that was by Linda. And then there's some replies. It takes time to find acceptance, and I have written before. It does not mean giving up. I long to be able to dance again, but if I even try a few steps in my kitchen alone, the body rebels and reminds me not to do that again. I dance in my dreams. I'm still grieving. I'll try dreaming instead of now. Dear friends, I remember the exact moment Dr. Ma told me that I had fibro. It was one of the worst moments of my life. I remember the caring and concerned way the doctor told me that everything I was experiencing was related to fibro. The feelings that I have could very easily be thought of grieving from the loss of a loved one. These feelings have not diminished over the past couple of years for me. Let's take care of each other. Keeper. Let's see.
That person was feeling like that had not, their grieving process was not getting any better over a 2-year period.
No, not. And that may be true for some, and others can move right through it. It depends on the person and their history with dealing with grief, how resilient they are, how severe the fibro is.
But I just said that was a long time for it not
to
change or not to let up some and then maybe, dip up and down a bit.
This one's interesting. I fought the beast for over 22 years now. Most of the time I was working. It took my money as I slowly declined till I could no longer work, then took the rest of it while I was getting on disability. I am no longer the dynamo I used to be, and it angered me. Still does. Sometimes I've got email friends mostly now, as I don't get out much, and when I can, only walk short distances with a cane, otherwise a wheelchair, even in the house. My hubby and I share the wheelchair. Since I am awake all night, I use it then. He takes the day shift. I come to terms with it, find the humor in it even. It's just kind of funny to see your brain slipping away, which that's a debatable term. I've learned to not He's such a perfectionist. I have trouble with that
Yes.
one. Ditto. Because it just ain't gonna happen. Anyway, the house no longer sparkles, and I'm no longer feeling guilty about it. I'm not the gourmet chef I used to be. It has to be easy, quick, and now took 2 to 3 days to get old lady in the mirror but my hubby
No.
ginger did I read
Okay.
that? Take on.
What kind of glasses are you wearing?
Prescription, but my eyes change through the day
I'm
because they
sorry.
swell.
Okay.
Yes,
Because
please.
it says we'll finish this up.
Thank you.
It took 2-3 days to get Thanksgiving dinner done,
Oh, I
and I
missed
was
that.
so tired. I couldn't eat for a while, and I haven't a clue who that fat old lady in the mirror is, but my hubby gingerly hugs her quite often. I no longer color, set my hair in rollers, or give myself fancy hairdos. I do manage a sort of Gibson once in a while, and that makes me, I see how, look more like my,
I do manage a sort of Gibson, so I'm not sure what that is.
I'm not sure what that is either.
In a while, and that makes me look more like my grandmother every day. Well, more like my great grandmother. The dogs still recognize me, though. That makes me happy. Go ahead.
And they don't care what I look like, just as long as they get fed and petted. They're happy. And as long as the disability checks keep coming, we can hold on to our house. I still have plenty to be grateful for.
That was very cool. Okay.
Well, so let's talk about some other sites.
Yes, I was going to say, let's move on from that. Now, these are actually like sister sites. They are, let me see how I get out of here. The fibromyalgia awareness, that's the big, they're the ones that fund all the research. www. It's to FMSA. Let's see what we got here. Not gov, it's .org. Okay. Okay. I also, the sister company to that, which is FM Aware. Let's do that one. And now they're putting their magazine online, which keeps up with the latest and greatest of everything. But they are related to the National Fiber. Here it is. There's that one. They're both here. Okay. Oh gosh, look who's under that one.
That's surprising.
Yeah. Okay. FM Aware is where I'm trying to get. Let me check yeah, that's it. Okay. FMaware.org. Okay. Don't give me that. I want this one. Don't you hate that? There it is. Okay. This is actually the NFA. Okay. This is the National Fibromyalgia Association. When we go and set up booths, I use their posters. They have a tax ID number. When we set up a booth, if somebody wants to write a check out, it goes to them. We give them a tax ID, tax deductible. But 90% of the funding here goes to research.
That's a good percentage.
It's one of the top. It's about the best you can get.
What kind of? Yeah, it's hard to know.
Some of them are 80-20 is supposed to be the best.
Yeah,
but they're 90, I believe.
That's good.
They just have very few paid employees. But the one where you get the really good juicy information that's with them is it's actually that one. But it took me to their bigger company. So I'm gonna see if I can find it. There's over probably 300 sites for fibro. Some of them are not as credible. So please,
but there's
careful.
all kinds of information out there.
I really want to get to that one. Let's go back one more because
haven't you ever been on the Live Strong?
The which one?
Live Strong. Site?
No. We'll check that one out next.
How do I end up on that quite frequently?
I don't know. I guess I get set in my little.
Okay, so you don't. Well, see, I Google a lot,
and you get whatever.
So I get whatever, and I look around. which probably isn't the best way to do things,
no,
but
there's nothing wrong
I
with
come
that.
up with and then I forget where the site was, and then I want to look at something.
I know Fibro Hugs, fibromyalgia support's good. Let's see. Why is it that I put in the exact? Let's do it up here. www. You can talk while I type.
I forgot.
I can only
I
do
don't
one
know.
thing
I
at a
don't.
time.
I'm trying to think of something that is. No, you're going to Weight Watchers,
Yes,
right?
I am.
You've quit smoking,
right?
And now you're a Weight Watchers guru, right?
And I joined Shapes, and I'm
did
using their
you?
water aerobics. Yes, I did.
You're doing the water aerobics?
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's the best exercise. My doctor said for me right now. It takes the stress off my joints.
Yeah, because
it feels so awesome to be weightless in the water.
Right.
And I can do the hour because it's not so stressful on my joints. So I totally love it. So I'm going at it at every direction I can to get my body back to the best health possible. And the reason I wanted to find this one was because of their magazine that has all the latest and greatest research. And I don't know why I'm not getting it. So we're going to have to probably move past this and try yours. But thank you for bringing that up. And it reminded me last night of somebody coming up with a new term that was new to me. And I don't remember the name of the word. I wish that guy would not always pop up on here. Let's see. Do you want to have another one you want to put in here?
I don't know. We could do Live Strong, or we could.
Okay,
I don't know how much time do we have left. We could talk about something, or
he was saying like not a lot.
Really?
Yeah, but what do we got in our time? We got a late start. Okay, let's do. What is it called?
Live Strong. That comes up for me a lot.
.com or .org?
I think it's .com.
Okay, let's see. No, we'll change it. Okay. You kind of said he's got to go past these.
Okay, we'll go back up because I think that's livestrong.com.
Right here?
Nope.
Okay, go back.
That's okay.
Isn't this fun for you guys?
There it is. Yeah, it did come up.
This is it? Okay. But your personal guide to become a better, healthier you. So this is like a big overall site for better health.
Right.
Okay, good. And what is it that you
I don't know. I just find different articles and stuff on it that I really like.
Okay, like
a smoke-free life is just a click away.
Okay, explore.
Log your foods, change your life. But there's a lot of good, you can explore stuff. Okay, let's go to diseases and health conditions.
Okay.
And then you can, search. But it has stuff on everything, addiction, alcohol dependent. I mean, it's not just big, like, fitness stuff.
Right. And I can see here where you put them in fibromyalgia. They've got everything here. Well, let's talk about gluten. That's a big thing coming up. A lot of people are hearing, don't eat, if you have fibromyalgia, go gluten-free. You'll feel better.
I have read that about 15% of fibromyalgia patients have a sensitivity to gluten or /wheat, different sensitivities.
Right.
So it's, a decent amount.
We feel better when we stay away from it. But I do,
as you know, a couple of our friends
Fibro
say
friends.
They do feel better.
Yes.
When they stay off the gluten.
Uh-huh. Now, somebody who's allergic to gluten, if I understand this properly, they have celiac disease, which means when they eat gluten, that when it gets into their digestive system, these little fingers that absorb all the nutrients, it has them lay down, and they are not able to absorb healthy, nutritious. So that's when they get very sick. Now,
So that would be more, not so much a reaction, but to gluten, but a total
That's celiac, right? That's where your body is
right.
unhealthy, and it has absolutely it
No,
can't have it.
can't have it.
But they're saying people with fibromyalgia who do not have celiac disease are actually feeling much healthier by staying away from gluten for whatever reason. It says here, um, let's see where it gets to this. With the chronic condition, you have widespread pain. Okay, we know that. Okay, there's no standard. Okay, there's some foods alleviate symptoms better than others. Also, some people who have fibromyalgia also have food allergies or intolerances. For example, 1 in 133 people in the U.S. have a gluten intolerance. Removing gluten can help such people reduce inflammation, alleviate aches, and it stops there, pain, and improve symptoms. And then it goes on to talk about gluten is in protein in wheat, barley, rye. My eyes just went
Okay.
spelt. Okay.
Okay, but let's see. You cannot have pasta, bread, crackers, cereal, cookies, cake,
Right.
gravy, pie, salad dressing,
Yep.
candy, including licorice, which is odd that they
Yeah.
say that, processed lunch meat, imitation meat or seafood, sauce including soy sauce and croutons.
But now safe foods are on gluten-free diet.
I have to hand it to our Fibro friends that follow this diet.
It's hard. You're giving
That
up.
would be tough, to follow this 90% of the time, which I think they
say that once they get it out of their system, they don't even want that food anymore. And that they eat this way, their health they can feel a huge impact difference.
I know. So this
They
is what I want to
slip by.
do, and I'm
Okay.
very motivated to do this.
Ooh, are we going to make a commitment right here on the air?
No,
What do you want to do? Come on, girl. Put it out
no,
there.
I want to. I'm working on implementing a better eating system at my home.
For you and your family.
Yes,
that's
to feel
great.
better and lose a little weight, but losing weight is not my primary goal.
No, it shouldn't be.
And
Eating healthier.
but weight loss for my daughter and my husband.
Right.
So I'm researching a lot about micronutrients, and
Excellent.
That's really, really interesting. You're hearing a lot about, that's where science and research is going.
Thank goodness.
It's all going there.
Right.
We're finding out that the medications are really, not.
We need to move past the medications and take it in our own hands and be more mindful of what we eat.
Absolutely.
Very critical.
It's making a big difference.
For everybody, fibro or not.
And so I'm starting to research that. My problem right now is I have not learned enough so that I wake up in the morning and go, I don't know what to eat for breakfast. Because I don't.
Well, they'll give you a list of safe foods. There's the paleo diet, which is one, the Mediterranean diet that can help you.
See, I want to look up. I just want to look at some cookbooks and kind of see what that's about. But I also want to research the micronutrient stuff more too.
Would you like to come back and share what you learned after you do that?
Yes, who knows how long it will take me, but
that's okay. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
Because that is a very critical part to our well-being, and that's the point of our show, is to
try anyway.
To give out the best information we can to help other people feel and live a happier, better life while with our diagnosis. We are not fibromyalgia. We are a human being who has fibromyalgia. Do not forget that. You are still you, maybe a little bit different and slower, but you still have the ability to love and to laugh and to play. And that's just the message I really want everybody to get. If you feel like you're giving up, call a Fibro friend. If you don't have one, make one. And we did get a little late start on our show, and it looks like our time is about up, if I'm reading the engineer appropriately, that we're supposed to be wrapping up the show.
Well, let's wrap up.
All right. Well, thank you for being a guest tonight, Celeste.
It was fun.
Again, you're a natural at this, and you
It
have
was
a lot of
fun.
information.
Next time, I want to do just more talking with you.
Let's go for it. We'll
Let's
just
do that.
sit
But
here
we
and
have to
banter.
That's right. We want to banter.
And we can make fun of the people that don't want to come on the show because they're shy.
We can.
Yeah.
We can.
Yeah.
We can't mention any names.
Nope.
But we can poke fun.
We can poke. They'll know who they are. See if
Right.
they're listening.
That's right. We'll get them.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Okay. Thank you. Have a great night. And I appreciate you checking in with us. We'll see you next week.
Remember, fibromyalgia can strike any person at any age. If you feel that you may be suffering from fibromyalgia, please contact your medical provider as soon as possible for proper diagnosis and a treatment plan that works for you. We are not a replacement for professional medical advice, but we are your Fibro Friends for advocacy and education and support. We encourage you to share via email, Facebook, or Twitter through a link from any of our shows that can be found on our website at fibrofriendsradioshow.com and on Facebook at Fibro Friends Radio Show. With your doctors, support system of friends and family, and your fellow Fibro friends. Remember, laughter is still the best medicine, so share the Fibro funny today and keep a smile on your face and in your heart. So pass this Fibro Friends smiling, gentle hug full of love to someone in pain today, because it's always the love that heals.